Oh man, I lost to Ashley at Fantasy this week and we made a deal that whoever loses has to cook dinner. I have no idea how to cook. I don't know what to do.
I might have something for you. Have you tried HelloFresh?
What's that?
HelloFresh has you covered with everything you need delivered right to your door, so you can meal plan with peace of mind. HelloFresh has loads of different meals to choose from, so you're definitely not left short of options. Cook delicious and healthy meals in less than 20 minutes, as HelloFresh allows you to prepare meals quickly and easily.
Wow, how did you manage that?
Get 50% off your first box and 35% off your next 3. And in addition to that, you can gift 3 free gifts to a friend using our code TottenhamTV.
What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for another Tottenham update in the middle of the World Cup. We do have a bit of transfer rumours to bring to you, and let's start off with Evan Ndika of Eintracht Frankfurt and a publication from Italy called Roma Giulianasso Rosa. Giallo Rosa.
Sound reliable.
Giallo Rosa.
Sound reliable.
They say Tottenham look to battle it out with Premier League rivals Newcastle and Serie A side Roma for Evan Ndika. Obviously, we saw him firsthand in the Champions League against us this season. Were you impressed?
Yeah, I was. I think he's a good defender. He's a bit raw. He's still young. He's got a lot of learning to do. I feel like he's still kind of rash occasionally. He's clearly a good ball-playing centre-back, and he's very strong. He's got really good pace, and he's also quite talented when he gets in the forward positions. But he's still a bit rash. He gets caught out of position quite a bit, and also on the ball he can be a bit like he can lack a bit of composure sometimes. But he's still 23. He definitely has a lot of long potential and a high ceiling, and it's definitely one Spurs should be looking at when it comes to that left-sided centre-back role, because I reckon he could be a very good centre-back in the future. But if you're expecting him to come in and be a top centre-back immediately, then I think you're looking at the wrong guy.
I mean, there has been quite some good reputation around him, and a lot of fans would like to bring him in. We'll just have to see how this one progresses. But look, I think I welcome the majority of centre-backs at the moment with the way our centre-backs are going. But let's move on and let's talk about one which kind of excites me, in Benjamin Pavard, currently with France at the World Cup. A publication called Todo Fichajes is saying that Tottenham have emerged as a potential destination for want-away Bayern Munich defender Benjamin Pavard. And when you're talking about a defender with winning pedigree, I mean, what has he not won in the game?
Yeah, and he's clearly a very good defender. The only thing is, what position would we play him in? I think he plays at right back for Bayern Munich. It does occasionally play centre back as well. Obviously, they do have Mazraoui now coming through on the wing back, but I don't think he would be a natural right wing back. I don't think that would be a great position for him, because I don't think going forward is where his strengths lie. He's very, very strong defensively. Obviously, he's known for scoring a really great goal in the World Cup 2018 against Argentina, but that's more of the exception rather than the rule for Benjamin Pavard when you talk about his attacking quality. So right centre-back would be the role for me, which I would like him in, and maybe it means moving Romero to the centre and having him there if that's the case. Obviously, bringing someone of the pedigree of Pavard would be massively improve the mentality of the team and the quality of the team. I'm not going to say no to having him as one of my centre-back options, but I don't. If you're thinking about bringing him as a right wing back, I don't think that's the move I would make. I don't know if that's what they're thinking if they do bring him in. But and obviously as well, do Bayern Munich really want to let him go? I don't know, because he plays pretty much most games for him, I think.
It's interesting with Pavard, because obviously 4 years ago at the World Cup he played right back, didn't he, for France? But he is more of a natural centre back. Could he play that role in the middle of a back three?
Maybe.
It could also be one potentially to look at. But I mean,
I think if I think just logically, his natural position would be the right centre back.
Yeah.
that would be his most favoured position, because he comes out and can play in the wide areas like a right back, and obviously he's more suited defensively. He doesn't have to get forward too much, and I think he can go for. He's a good passer and he can get forward well. I just wouldn't rely on him to get forward. I don't think he's like our wing backs. They need to be good in dribbling and one-on-one situations and getting crosses in. That's not quite Pavard's strong suit, but he's clearly a very, very good defender. So I think he would definitely, Conte would love him, but I don't think he would like him at right wing back.
Yeah, he's played 13 games in the Bundesliga this season. 8 of them have been at right back, and 5 of them have been at centre back. So
if we're signing him in a back 4, I'll play him at right back, but in a back 5, I want him as right centre back.
all right, well, that is our take on.
But we're not going to get him anyway. So.
Benjamin Pavard. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Next up is a name that has been reoccurring for some time since Fabio Paratici has come to the club, and that is Weston McKennie. And Calcio Mercato are saying that Fabio Paratici has an obsession with Weston McKennie, and Antonio Conte is also keen. Tottenham remain attentive to the situation, even if there have been no concrete moves.
Yeah, I guess we'll just wait and see. Obviously, he's playing in the World Cup at the moment, so I don't think anything's going to be tied up while that's happening. Obviously,
although I did get Didier Zakora while he was at the World Cup.
That's true. That's back in 2006. So, I think the times have moved on from then. Look, I think he's a good player. I think he's kind of more of the same of what we have in terms of Bentancur, Højbjerg, Skip, Basuma. He's more similar to those kind of players than maybe something then necessarily offer something different. What he does add is obviously quality and depth and potential to start as well, ahead of some of the midfielders that we have. But I just don't see him particularly as a priority, to be honest, right now, because I think our midfield is in a strong situation, and if we're looking to push ahead in January for moves, I wouldn't necessarily look at him, but I wouldn't complain if we do sign him.
Yeah, I think if we're going to look to bring in a midfielder, I think it's got to be more of the offensive kind of midfielder that can really help for our struggles in the creative section of the pitch. So I think, look, I'd like Weston McKennie. I'd like to bring him in, but I think what you said is completely spot on. Not really a priority right now. But in terms of priority, this man could be a priority. Next up, we're going to be talking about is Mohamed Kudus, who we saw him play really well yesterday in the World Cup. Correa dello Sport is saying that Tottenham are among the strong rivals for Ajax aces Mohamed Kudus' signature. And we were both really impressed with him, weren't we?
Yeah, I really like the look of him against Portugal for Ghana. I thought a lot of the times he was on one-man mission to drag Ghana back into the game, and he was, every time he got the ball, he was actually making stuff happen, and Portugal actually really struggling to deal with him, and it actually took him going off until Portugal were able to really push ahead in that game and take control of it. And I felt like that was a really bad substitution. And based on what I saw, I mean, he played like in a central midfield, hybrid central midfield role / like forward role. Obviously, he got an assist as well. I'm pretty sure he got an assist for Andre Ayew's Andre Ayew's goal with a really good cutback. And I was really impressed with his discipline, his ability in the middle to wriggle out of situations. He also got a shot on goal from 25 yards just wide after another good dribble. And he's one who I really impressed with his strength, his tenacity and his quality. And he's one who looks like a versatile player as well. Can play on the left, can play in the centre, looks like can play midfield as well for Ghana, plays in the striking position for Ajax. So he's an exciting prospect, good age, young. I don't know how much he would cost, but I don't think we would have to break the bank for him. So, I mean, Mohamed Kudus is definitely on my radar for sure. I'd really like the look of him.
How much do you reckon he costs in this day and age? Obviously, they bought him a couple of years back for 9 million. Transfer market value him at about 15 million. But I don't think you get him for anything less, about 30, 40 at least. Yeah,
but in this day and age, how much is 34 million for that kind of player isn't totally out the question. So, obviously, if he has a great World Cup, which at the moment he's had one game and he's played really well, his value will probably skyrocket because that's how it usually works in international tournaments. But I reckon, 30-40 million, something in that price range. Something that and he solves a few problems in the striking departments as well. And if they see him as a potential central midfielder as well, like he played for Ghana, that could also be something to definitely look at.
All right, so that's Mohamed Kudus. Let's move on and let's talk about Sergio Reguilon now. Yet to make an appearance for Atletico Madrid since his summer loan move. Estadio Deportivo are claiming that Real Sociedad are keeping an eye on Sergio Reguilon in case Atletico Madrid cut his loan move short in January. And I think that could be quite likely, to be honest, because they just can't seem to get him on the pitch.
Yeah, and which is unfortunate for him because it was probably on the face of it a very good loan move off the back of a disappointing last season season at Spurs. A team like Atletico Madrid coming in for you, probably a chance to reignite your career, especially being one of the biggest teams in Spain, and it hasn't happened for him, unfortunately. It's not necessarily he's been played badly, he just hasn't played, and must be very frustrating for him with injuries and struggling to get game time. So I'm sure for him, I don't know if he'll solve his injury problems going to Sociedad, but I think even if Atletico are willing to cut it short, I think Sociedad could be a good option. They're in Europa League, aren't they? They top their group, so
played United,
in
right?
Europe, they played United, so not a bad team. So I think for him, it's just about getting on the pitch, and if that's going to happen, more likely at Sociedad, then it's probably a good move.
And it's the same with Harry Winks as well, being at Sampdoria still with his injury problems, haven't been able to get on the pitch. And, I'm fully expecting these two players to be back at Hotspur Way come the summer. And if they are back at Hotspur Way and without making an appearance in their loan moves, how difficult is it to shift them?
Really extremely difficult. It was hard enough. The fact that we had to put them on loan was a testament to how difficult it was to shift. So I don't expect many offers for them come the summer, especially Winks anyway.
Last bit of transfer news we've got for you is that man Ruslan Malinovsky once again. Gazzetta dello Sport saying that talks are expected between Tottenham and Atalanta over a potential Ruslan Malinovsky deal in the coming weeks with a 15.5 million asking price. Sports media sets say that Tottenham are in pole position to sign Atalanta midfielder Malinovsky in the January transfer window. We saw this one gather pace in the summer. Didn't seem to happen. Similar noises happening now. Do you think it will happen eventually?
I mean, it's a deal that makes sense for everyone, really. Atalanta seemingly don't fancy him right now. He's had a drop in performance, so maybe due to the fact that he wanted to leave. He's available for a decent price in a position that we need backup for Kulusevski. He's at an age where maybe he won't demand a starting spot in every single game. So from that point of view, it all makes sense. I think he's a good player. I've said before how it's a bit frustrating that if we wanted him, the deal hasn't happened already in the summer. But I think he is a good player, and he could definitely help us in the second half of the season. So I definitely would welcome his arrival.
All right, and last but not least, the FA Cup. It's that time of the year again. The FA Cup is coming round again with the first round of fixtures set to take place in around the 7th of January, around that time. And Tottenham will find out their FA Cup third round opponents on Monday, the 28th of November, with the draw taking place at Anfield at 7:30 p.m. And Spurs are ball number 39 in the draw, so watch out for that one. But yeah, in search for a trophy. Think we can go all the way?
I don't know who we're playing yet, so hard to say.
Yeah, well, whether you go all the way, you're going to need to face some of the big boys, aren't you?
If we play Man City away third round, I'm going to say no.
But we're going to have to face them at some point, or face someone
maybe
of
at
that
Wembley.
style.
You know what I mean? Maybe at Wembley it's different. FA Cup's obviously a massive opportunity for us to get a trophy. We've been waiting for one for a long time, and it's probably our best chance left. So definitely we have to take it as seriously as possible. It's going to be difficult to do that given our commitments already in Champions League and Premier League. We're fighting for top four, and we're fighting in the Champions League with AC Milan now, and then to get into the next round. So we need rivals to help with the quality depth, but FA Cup as well has to be on the list, like in terms of trying to break that trophy duck. And I really hope that if we do have a difficult game, that we're not taking it for granted and resting players and with a view of going out. But I guess if you're Conte and let's say we have an FA Cup game, then a Champions League game midweek, I wouldn't be surprised if we prioritise the Champions League, and that could end up being a situation where we do go out.
Yeah. All right, well, watch out for the draw on Monday. Obviously, we'll bring you the draw as soon as it happens on Monday, 7:30 p.m. But that is your Tottenham update for today. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any thoughts regarding any of the news stories we've brought to you today. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.